everybody. Welcome back to the What We're Watching podcast, a podcast to keep your eye on. And today we have a wonderful, wonderful episode for you filled with lots of good stuff. So, Ava, why don't we just go ahead and jump right into it? Because I know that this one's going to be a long one for me. What are you watching this week?
So last night I just saw Send Help with Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams. And right off the bat, I didn't think I was gonna really like it that much, just because it was a horror comedy and like those are notorious for not being, very good. Um, Unless done right. And I think this one is one of the ones where it was done right. Um, I think Rachel McAdams is just, she's phenomenal. She does such a great job. And so does Dylan. And I really enjoyed the cinematography of it too. Like a lot of the close up shots, like the one in the beginning where he has like the tuna fish on his hand and makes his coworker smell it. It's like the close up of like his nose, like that's those are just small key details that I think made it that much more fun to watch. And I don't know, it was honestly really enjoyable and not at all like scary at all. It wasn't really scary. It was more just like kind of there were a couple jump scares, but like not like anything terrifying.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really good, and I love Dylan O'Brien, and I'm glad that he's getting in more and more roles as the like years come, months come, and um, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4, so
I liked it a lot too when I saw it a couple weekends ago. I felt like the comedy was placed really well. I think that sometimes when horror comedy, like when they try to do horror comedy, they try to make the like kills funny and like over gory, or they like overdo it when it comes to the kills. And I don't care for that. I think that that's why we both didn't like the monkey last year
yes.
when the monkey came out, is because the kills were just like too overdone, not realistic, too stylistic, and it took away from the horror side of things. It made it seem more of like a parody rather than like a horror movie.
Mhm.
But with this movie specifically, I think that the comedy came from that power dynamic and seeing like the true conversations that they would have, rather than like trying to make it a funny kill or anything. I will say the boar scene, that scene was really where I was like, no, wait a minute.
So like
But
I went to the movies with one of my roommates and then the one that lives next to us too. She is like hates gore, hates everything like that. So she was like really not wanting to go to the movie with us. That whole scene, she put her blanket over her head. Emma and I are both like this, covering her eyes, being like, "Okay, don't watch, don't watch, don't watch. This is really gross. It's still going. It's still going." That scene is forever in my mind. I made that my letterbox review. Is the boar scene will be in my nightmares later. Because that was just crazy. That's just a crazy scene.
yeah, it was definitely one that I was like grossed out by. There's not many scenes in horror movies that I have to like look away from, but that was definitely one that made me get the ick and grossed out for sure. Yeah, I really liked it. And I think it's so funny. I don't know if you've seen any of the press like interviews between them, but Dylan O'Brien is like so
Obsessed with
gagged.
her.
He is, and not in like it's not like a romantic relationship between them. It's definitely like brother sister relationship.
Yes.
He's, of course, like the rest of us, obsessed with her work. She's a phenomenal actress and has incredible range. And so I think it's so funny to watch him just like absolutely gawk over being able to be with her, and she's so humble about it. Yeah, like I didn't even realize people watched that movie, blah blah blah. I'm like, hot chick, the hot chick girl, everybody has seen that movie. Yeah, I really liked it. I definitely would recommend it if you're somebody who wants to start branching into the horror genre a little bit, but you don't know where to start, I would definitely say like horror comedy is where to like dip your toes in the water. Um, I would say that some of the ones that I would suggest the most is probably like Hell of a Summer. Ava and I both really liked last year.
And Wolfhard, he like wrote and directed it. Him and another guy, they did it together. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Hell of a Summer is really good. I would say Hard Eyes, I think we both kind of enjoyed. It came out last year around this time. It's kind of like a Valentine's Day one. I think we both enjoyed that one quite a bit.
Happy
I
Death
would also
Day,
go ahead.
the
Happy
Happy
Death
Death
Day is
Day
a it's
movies.
a
Those are
really
both
popular
good.
one. Yeah, those are a really popular franchise when it comes to horror comedy. One I would even throw in there is Y2K.
You
Y2K
like
came out last year.
Y2K.
Y2K was absolutely nuts, crazy, like wild. It was one that like the entire time we were watching it, we were like, what the actual hell is
Yeah.
happening? I had no idea going into it what to expect, and I could not tell you what was happening next at any singular moment.
No.
It like
It was
it
so
was nuts. Rachel
funny.
Zegler, she saved that movie. It was hilarious. Like it was I don't know if we were laughing because it was funny or we were laughing because we were like this is so stupid.
Stupid. Yeah.
But I mean, I thought it was really funny and enjoyable. I was very much like a you know what? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Mhm,
Like of course,
mhm.
the kid Leroy is in it. He
Yes.
does get killed within like 5 minutes of meeting him, but hey, the kid Leroy.
Another one I really like is Totally Killer, I think is what that one is. That
Oh,
one's
with Kiernan
really good.
Shipka.
Yes, I really
Yes.
like that one. That one's one I'll throw on just for fun if I don't have anything else to watch. And I just like see it and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this one is just like so funny. And because and
Yeah.
Olivia
Well,
Holt's in it and I like Olivia Holt and yeah.
there's Totally Killer and then there's
Time Cut.
Time Cut, which is like that weird phenomenon when like two movies come out that are pretty similar around the same time. And one like Totally Killer is significantly better than Time Cut. Like sorry, do not go waste your time with Time Cut. But I don't think it was done very
No,
well. It was
definitely.
very cheesy. The dialogue was not very good. Um,
It was
but
very Netflix. Very
right,
Netflix.
right. I liked Totally Killer a lot though. I just
Yeah.
love Kiernan Shipka. I think
I did too.
she can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah. That's another good one. I really enjoyed Totally Killer.
Yeah, so like I said, if you're trying to dip your toes more into the horror genre, definitely start with horror comedies. They're growing on me. I think this is the best one that I've seen thus far because as like a true horror lover, I don't love a horror comedy just because I'm like I don't see the need to like water down horror with like something funny, like if I'm going to be scared, I want to be scared. I don't want to like be scared and then laugh. That's what like the scary movies are for and like paranormal activity, like all these parody movies that aren't meant to be scary, you know. But it's definitely growing on me and yeah, I really like it and I think that this director, I think his name is Sam Raimi. Yeah, he is the same director who did like the Evil Dead movies, and he also did the Spider-Man movies, the OGs with Tobey Maguire. I don't know if you knew that, Ava.
Hmm.
Yeah. So he is the OG Tobey Maguire Spider-Man director too. So I think yeah, like we were talking about with the shot with his hands and like the very up close mouth shots, those are very detailed and I think that it just plays into the super tight knit dynamic between the two and how like it's easily influenced later down the line you can see the like back and forth between their dynamic.
I went ahead and looked up some horror comedies just to like, think of a couple more. And Bodies. I remember I watched it in your room when you were gone. And I was like, I just need a movie to watch, like a random one that I haven't seen. And I turned this on and I was just like, found myself being like, I don't really know what's going on, but it's kind of funny.
It's
But
definitely odd. I think if
yeah.
you like Bodies, you should definitely go watch It's What's Inside on Netflix. That one is insane. That one I would say definitely maybe leans a little bit more on like the psychological thriller side than the comedy side because it's a little bit like more intense than Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. But both are really good and they're honestly pretty similar. But I liked It's What's Inside a lot better. What are some other ones on there, Ava?
The babysitter, like the
The
Netflix
oh,
one. That's a
I love those.
I do too. They're not
Kind
bad.
of a guilty pleasure, might I say. Like, I
Yeah.
think that they're kind of funny every time they put a new one out. Like, yeah, it's very much follows the like the person dies and then they get, brought back from the dead, like trope, but I love it. You have freaking King Bach and Bella Thorne. Yeah, I think that they're so funny.
hmm There's a lot of the ones that we've already talked about. Ready or Not. That second one's coming out
Ooh,
soon.
yeah. The Ready
I
or Not one
haven't.
is
I don't
really
think I've
good.
seen it. I don't think I've seen Ready or Not.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I want to
I
watch it before the second one.
definitely watch Ready or Not. That one's a good one. It's pretty chaotic, but I'm interested to see how they do with the second one. I worry that they're gonna like, I don't know. A sequel is always an intimidating feat because I think you can either like really succeed with a sequel, like how The Black Phone did, or you can like really fail with the sequel. So we'll see how that turns out. Well, I will curate a horror comedy list on my letterbox and I will put the link on our Instagram page so that if you are somebody who's interested in getting into the horror comedy genre, we'll give you a good list of places to start. So, subtle letterbox plug. If you have a letterbox, follow me at Reese Potter and follow Ava.
I think it's Ava Potter 27.
So, give us a follow on letterbox.
And recent, I've also been watching these past couple weeks School Spirits, which
Yes.
fully underrated show.
Oh my
Nobody talks
gosh.
about it.
I need people to get on board because if this show ever gets canceled, I will
It will
literally
ruin my life.
riot. I
It will
will
ruin my life.
riot.
Like, basically, the whole premise of the movie is about this girl named Maddie Mears. She's played by Peyton List, aka from Jesse, Emma Ross from Jesse, like Baddie, like Cobra Kai Baddie, like
Batty with a bob.
like literally fab all the time. Like she's always in that fab. Basically, it's about Maddie. She is kind of going through a lot because her mom is a struggling like alcoholic, and she's having like just kind of a really hard time. And one day she like wakes up and realizes that like nobody like in the school can see her, and she's like stuck between a world of being alive but also dead at the same time. And basically the whole first season is her living in the school but dead with all the other random spirits, which you're probably thinking, why are there so many dead spirits within the school? Well, we're still trying to figure that out in season three. But it's just it's so good. They do such a great job because you learn so much about each individual, like I don't want to say ghost spirit, if you will, in the high school. And Maddie the whole time is just trying to figure out if she's actually dead. Did she die? Because her friend Simon, who is alive and in the real world, can see her in certain rooms where students have died in the school. So it's like he can see her, but like nobody else can. And
So
he's
like
like,
why can Simon
how
see her?
exactly? And it's like, how do we get her out? So that's basically the whole first season and a good majority of the second
The
season too.
first season, I would say, is definitely centered around Maddie. It's like, why is she here?
Yes.
How did she die? Who did this to her? Try to find her killer. You find out there's a Maddie on the outside world too. So you're like, who is this?
Mhm.
That's all first season. Second season, I would say, is definitely primarily about the individual spirits within the school. So
Yes.
it kind of it dives deep into like their stories, how they died, wherever they died in the school. So whether it be on the football field, in the greenhouse, in the lunchroom, in the basement, each of them have what's called their scar, which is when they enter that place, it like takes them back to when they died, the moment that they died. And it's a very like vulnerable place for these spirits because
Very
they're like reliving
traumatizing.
their death. Yeah, right, right, right. So the second season is a lot about like their stories and like their connections to the school. And then the third season, which we only have three or four
I
episodes
think
out.
four. I think we
Yeah.
just
It's like
had
the first
four.
half of the season came out a couple weeks ago, and it's now about like the school and why the school is the way it is, why all these students have died in this school, and like what is causing this. And it's so good. It
Well,
just does such a good job, I feel like, of like
mhm,
connecting everything.
yes. And it's not just students. There's staff too that have also died. So, and what I really love about it is it's not just like random people that have died. It's people that like they died so many years ago and were able to be their true authentic self. And we like learn that through multiple different characters. And it's really cool to just see like I don't know, and like they're stuck in their clothes from that time, and that's just a fun little key element that they added into the show. And um, like the first season kind of centers around like 4 or 5 characters, and then we slowly in the second season get like 2 or 3 more regulars that come into the show. And now this third season we have so many more regulars, so it's like yes, there may be a lot of like small stories within the main one, but I think they do a really good job of like still prioritizing each story and not making it so jumbled and like feel like that you're losing
Yeah.
track of each story, you know?
Right. And if nothing that we've said has convinced you to watch this thus far, Milo Manheim is in it. So
Exactly. Like
I
that is
digress.
my
That's all
Flynn
we need to
Rider.
say.
That is my Flynn Rider. Like
Right,
maybe that's
right.
my brother.
That
Like.
that's all we need to say. Yes, exactly.
Okay, so Reese, what have you been watching?
Well, okay. I figured that this is the perfect opportunity for me to talk about what happened in San Francisco at Levi's Stadium at halftime of the Super Bowl. And that is the Benito Bowl. Oh my gosh, let's talk about Bad Bunny's amazing, amazing all Spanish halftime show that literally like broke the internet,
Made
makes
so much
absolute
history.
history. It now became the number one watched Super Bowl halftime show in history. I want to say it was like 135 million or something like that
It was something
people
crazy
that have
like that.
watched it. Insane, absolutely insane. So I figured I would give, as quickly as I can, because I like to talk, a bit of a breakdown for anybody that watched it or didn't get to watch it, that kind of wants to get a little bit of insight into all the symbolism and the significance and the cultural stories behind everything that went in the Super Bowl halftime show. First and foremost, I want to go over my sources because while I did know some of this stuff personally, some of this I did do a lot of research for. So, Brian Baez on TikTok, Impact on Instagram, and Fierce on Facebook are some of the places where I got a lot of this information from. So, we will start out. Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio. I love him. He is wearing head to toe Zara, and his outfit was a tribute to his mom and his uncle. So on the back of his jersey was his mother's surname, Ocasio, and it's just kind of cool that he highlighting his maternal roots in like a male-dominated sport. I really like that. And then on top of that, the front of his jersey was 64 for his uncle who was born in 1964, and so just kind of a way to like have him present and with him in spirit and remembered. His uncle passed away. He moved to the States when he was 17. And so he was a big fan of the 49ers, and he passed away 2 years after the 49ers lost to Kansas City. He just kind of left unexpectedly without warning. And so he always was really close with Benito. And so he decided to wear him on his jersey to honor him while he performed at the 49ers stadium in the 60th Super Bowl, which I thought was super, super, super cool.
I think it just
Um,
showcases how strong like family roots are within like the Latino community. I feel like
yeah,
it's so family oriented and so family centered. Like, and him having that just like showcases that a lot.
yeah. So it starts out by, I will say the English translation because my Spanish is not very well. But they say how great it is to be Latino tonight we drink. And then it starts, pans over the sugarcane fields, which just kind of shows like the backbone of Puerto Rico and what the island has frankly been exploited for years. But he starts out singing Titi Me Pregunto, which I think is probably his most popular song that everybody would know. But so he starts out, and we're kind of getting, him singing and walking through all of these like historical and cultural like markers. So we see the sugarcane workers in the fields. We see the coco frio stand, which they believe that the coconut is the tree of life. There's an abundance of nutrients that you can get just from the tree, whether it be the coconut oil from the palms or the coconut water and coconut milk itself. And then we see the table of older gentlemen playing dominoes together, which is just kind of like a cultural staple that's been connecting generations for years, which we love to play dominoes in our family. We get that from our dad, I think. And then he goes and you see all the badass women. You see them in their pink collar jobs, which is highlighting all of the women doing nails and hair, and then them doing construction, which I believe really symbolizes like that women are the foundation. When you see them next to the cinder blocks, it kind of just shows that like women are the foundation of the household in Puerto Rican culture. From there, we move on to the Piragua cart, which we know Piragua carts from In the Heights and Lin-Manuel
Yes.
Miranda. Shout out In the
I was waiting for
Heights.
his cameo. Was waiting for his cameo.
Yes, I know, I know. So we see the Piragua cart, which Piragua is it's more than just shaved ice. They brought this to the United States, and it just kind of shows like the adaptability and the endurance of Puerto Rican culture, I would say. Then he moves on over to the Villas Taco Cart, which is a real taco cart in LA. And it just kind of shows like support of small Latino businesses within the United States. I think is really cool that it's an actual taco cart that you have in LA that Bad Bunny says is one of his favorites. And then lastly, during this song, he goes and we see him ducking under the boxers. And that is because Puerto Rico is the boxing capital of the world. It produces the highest number of world champions every single year, which I think is super cool. So, a complete rundown during Titi Me Pregunto, we get just a full story, and it encompasses so many markers historically, culturally within Puerto Rican culture, which I love to see. I love to see all the little displays and little Easter eggs here and there of just the things that make up Puerto Rican culture and what make it so unique and significant to them. So yeah, I really love that part. It was really beautiful to watch. Next up, we go into the casita, which is from his residency in Puerto Rico. And it's super cool. He had a lot of celebrities present in the casita. We had
Jessica
just
Alba. Jessica
Jessica
Alba.
Alba.
I love
Jessica
Jessica
Alba.
Alba.
We had Cardi B. We had Carol G. We had Pedro Pascal. Oh, I
Yeah.
love Pedro. He's so baby. But just yeah, the casita was filled with many Hispanic icons. Super super cool. From the start of the casita, we get the song Yo Pero Sola, which translates to I twerk alone. While it sounds a little silly, it's actually a reggaeton anthem that's just kind of like centered around like female anatomy, and basically like independence, the right for a woman to be dancing in a club without being like harassed or pressured by men. It's a really great song, so definitely give it a listen. Read the translated lyrics because it's super cool, just to hear a song that just shows that like women can be dancing in a club, and just kind of like showing how we don't have to be dancing for anybody. We can just be dancing for ourselves. Yo Pero Sola. That one's one of my favorite songs. Then we get Safera, Party, Voy a la Barte Pa Pirar, a couple of songs, and then he falls through the roof of the casita and then starts jamming out to some reggaeton classics. I really thought Daddy Yankee was coming out. when I
I
heard
was,
Gasolina.
I think everyone in the room when we were watching, we all went, "Good." Like everybody woke up, and I'm like, y'all better been like already awake. Like, just like, come on, like the show was just beginning.
Right. Yeah, we definitely thought that
And
Daddy
it's
Yankee
left.
was going to come out, but it's okay. Because then he goes to AO, which is one of my favorite songs. I love the song AO. And from there, we get the beginning of Monaco, which is kind of that like a violin beginning. And that's where he gives us his little short little monologue in Spanish, and I'll translate it for you guys. He said, "My name is Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, and I'm here today at Super Bowl 60. It's because I never, never stopped believing in myself, and you should believe in yourself too. You're worth more than you think. Trust me," which I think is just so beautiful. And it's so cool to hear him speak and just say, like, follow your dreams, that anybody can be anything, and that, like he said, you're worth more than you think, that you can always strive for success, and that it will be given to you when the moment's right, to trust in the process. I literally love that part so much.
It was, I don't know. It's just everything about it just made me so emotional. Every like when I rewatch it, I just get so emotional because I'm just like, it's so nice to see.
Yeah. So after his little monologue, we get a real wedding. Can you believe that? That there was a
Real wedding.
real wedding during the Super Bowl. Apparently, this couple invited Benito to their wedding, just like, a joke, as people do. They send out invitations to random celebrities. And he actually responded and said, "How about you get married at the Super Bowl instead?"
That's crazy.
That is insane. I thought it was like so cool and so beautiful, and like, how lucky are they? I am a billion times jealous.
That would
Yeah.
be really cool.
And
Surrounded
then
by Bad Bunny while you're getting married and like a million other people cheering you on and just like the music and the dancing and just like, oh my gosh, that'd be so cool.
yeah. And then we get mother to end all mothers. Um Actually insane Lady Gaga.
That like I think we all screamed when we saw her. Like that was like one guest I was like truly not expecting, like at all.
I was in a gay bar at the time, and when I tell you, that place erupted. It was insane. It was nuts, absolutely crazy. Like Slay the Boots House Down. Lady Gaga singing a salsa version of Die with a Smile.
I literally was just like, because my friends and I we put like on a board like all of our like bets or like what we thought was gonna happen. Literally, I think everybody put either Daddy Yankee or Cardi B as the
Mm-hmm.
special guest who he was gonna bring out. Lo and behold, would have never guessed Lady Gaga, and it was
Lady Gaga. Which
phenomenal.
is crazy because there was like a video circulating of them two at the Grammys, and I'm like, now we
Yes.
know. Now we know.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I thought that was absolutely nuts. Um, and something really, really cool about her outfit, she was wearing a light blue dress. And that light specific color of light blue is the correct blue on the Puerto Rican flag. Um, the Puerto Rican flag used to be that color blue. You'll see Benito carrying it later during the halftime Super Bowl show. And um, it's because the US had a gag order in place in 1948 to change that color of blue to the dark blue that you see now, to match the dark blue of the United States, because it's a territory. They wanted it to match that blue. So the light blue flag is now kind of waved as like a symbol of independence and to stray away from like statehood, which I think is really, really cool. Ballet Inolvidable comes next. We get a little dance number of him singing and walking around this big party, and we get the iconic shared experience across the entire Latino community of the kids sleeping on the chairs at the family party. And you want to know who that is? Ava Potter. Ava
Me,
Potter. I saw that and I literally was like, that's Ava. We all know growing up in Latin communities that you get stuck at family functions for hours upon
hours.
hours. And so finding a makeshift place to sleep, lay down, rest, like that is so iconic and it's such a crazy shared experience across all
Hmm.
households. Yeah, I saw that was like hello, Ava.
Like that is, I just think that's so funny because I like remember like family reunions just like being tired and just like laying on the floor or like laying across chairs like that, like in the place we were at. Because like we were gonna stay there for another like
Oh
three
yeah.
hours.
Oh
Like
yeah. There's there's a reason why it's called an Irish goodbye and not a Hispanic goodbye because Hispanic goodbyes take at least 3 hours. Yes.
exactly.
Then we have a trust fall off the casita into the arms of the community, is what it symbolizes. And he starts singing Nueva York, which is one of my favorite songs from that album. We see it on the back of the casita featured bodegas, mini marts, mom and pop shops, hair salons, just kind of showing like the community backbones of the Latin community. And then we also get a surprise cameo from Tonita, which is the legendary figure in the Puerto Rican community. She is the owner of the Caribbean Social Club in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and she's that is the like last known traditional Puerto Rican social club in her neighborhood, which is really cool that she got to come out here and be a part of that because she's kind of like an icon in the Latin community and in the Puerto Rican community in Brooklyn, which I thought was just so fun to have her there and present for such like a monumental moment for her and for Latin American people. I think it was so cool. Yeah. Then he switches over, and we get him giving a Grammy to Lincoln Fox, who is a child actor who was there to portray Benito as his younger self. Which I just like, oh, it all like literally brought me to tears to see that because I think it just shows like anybody can be anything. And I love that he just like kind of shows young men and young women in the Latin community that like you can be whatever you set your heart out to be and you can do great things. Ugh, I literally loved that part so much, so much.
I think it also goes back to like what he said at the beginning, like I believed in myself, but I believe in you too. Like when he said that earlier, like it just I think it goes back into that. And I don't know, I think that was just such a fun part to just add that. Like that was
Yeah.
just it's just
Yeah, like how amazing is it that a week before you performed at the Super Bowl,
you
you
would
won
agree.
album of the year? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, Bad Bunny, he's killing the game right now. And then we get our second guest star of the halftime show, Ricky Martin. Ricky Martin is an icon. He sang Lo que le pasó a Hawaii, which is a song that is kind of a warning that they don't want what happened to Hawaii to happen to Puerto Rico. It shows that two islands like shared experiences of colonization and displacement, gentrification, and like over tourism, which I think is such a beautiful song. Another one that I think that if you go and read the like English translations and listen to the Spanish version, that you'll really fall in love with the words that he says and the story that he's trying to get across. And I think it was really special to have Ricky Martin sing that song. He also sang that song while sitting in kind of a depiction of the Debí Tirar Más Fotos album cover, which I really liked too. Yeah, I really love that part. And Ricky Martin is somebody who's been such a pillar for the Latin artists in today's culture. He was told forever ago that you're going to have to speak English. You'll never make it big speaking Spanish and singing in Spanish. And so in his Instagram post, it like brought a tear to my eye to see him, talking about how he didn't have to change the color of his voice to do such great things. So I really loved seeing that, and I thought that post was really sweet to me.
Mhm.
And then Ricky Martin is interrupted by the power lines exploding in the background, and Bad Bunny starts singing El Apagón, which translates to the blackout. This song is all about the failing power grid systems that um, were caused by hurricanes and natural disasters in Puerto Rico that left people without power for months that, frankly, um, the United States government just kind of ignored. And it's just kind of a big, you know, political statement of independence and like we are here and we will not be silenced. And then we get a little bit of Café con Ron, which is a fun little song before we get the big finale. Benito, he says, God bless America. And after that, he says a Spanish word, sea, which means be it, which I think is really important. He says, God bless America, be it, and then lists every country in the Americas: North America, Central America, Latin America, South America. He lists everybody. And behind him, you just have people with all of the flags from every single country within the Americas. And it's such a beautiful sight to see. Um, and at the end, he finishes it off with Together We Are America on the football. I think it just kind of shows that, you know, America is all of us. It's not just the United States, that we all are coming together to become something greater than who we are. And yeah, and then finishes it off jamming out to Debí tirar más fotos, while on the Jumbotron behind him it says, the only thing more powerful than hate is love. And I love that message. I think it was the perfect way to end the show, especially right now in this troubling time in the United States where we're very divided. I think that it just shows, you know, the only way that we're going to fight this battle, frankly, from either side is with love instead of hate. And
Mhm.
I really felt like that was like the perfect way to end this.
And I think just having all the flags too, like it showcases like what you said, like it's so much more than just America. Like there's so many different cultures and just people and all kinds of things that make up America. It's not being American is not one strict like
Mold textbook. Yeah.
molds. Yeah, it's like not one strict thing that's like written into text and written into history that we have to
Right.
look a certain way. We're made up of so many different people because that is the foundation of America. Is we
Of
started
the United
out
States,
with
of our
yeah,
country.
exactly. We started out with diversity, and that's what makes America great is diversity.
Yeah. I saw this on Facebook and I really loved it. I wanted to share it. I apologize. I don't know who said this. But they talked about how America is founded not necessarily on becoming a melting pot, where everything dissolves into sameness and this assimilation that everybody talks about, but it's like a salad bowl where all the cultures have their different flavors still, but come together for the better. And I just love that. I think that that is the true statement to what we are in the United States is just a big salad bowl of different cultures, and that, you know, we're all here for something greater to honor the country that we love, and we don't have to give up our cultural roots in order to love the country that we live in. Two things can be, you know, the same. Two things can be correct at the same time, you know.
And that's why we are as valuable is because so many different cultures are can be so different, but they're all intertwined together and some of them can overlap. And that's like and it comes together to create something so amazing and so good.
Yeah. So there is your complete, quick rundown of everything that happened at the halftime show of Super Bowl 60. If you want to know more, I definitely implore you to go do some research and listen to Puerto Rican people on TikTok, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, kind of talk and break it down some more. They are the best sources for the material and the information, not some random girl from Missouri. This is just what I have learned through my research and my knowledge, and just wanted to share with you guys how awesome it was and how like deeply thought out and yeah, just perfect it was. It was like my all-time favorite show I've ever seen in my life.
It just encapsulated such a story. And I feel like even though like I don't speak Spanish at all, being able to watch it, I can use my context because I know what's happening. I know what the story he's trying to tell is. And then I use that context clues to then further my research and learn what it all means. Because
Yes.
that's the only way we can like learn and grow and establish opinions is because we listen to the others that are affected by certain things and learn from their actual stories and don't overshadow their stories with our own stories.
I love that. I love that you said that. Well, now that we've talked your ear off, we will let you guys go. It is late for us here, and we are, I don't know about Ava, but I am exhausted.
I am really tired. I had a really long day today.
Yes. So we love you guys. We hope you guys have a great week. We hope you guys keep watching all the movies and shows and find everything on your social media that you can to stay invested and involved. And we love you, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Just for
I just
today,
want to say I
I
got
got my
my mate. Right? That's enough.